Another week, another trading cycles video. We're now in week 51 of the year 2023. The year is coming to a close very soon. Christmas is just around the corner. But before we move on here, I would like to remind you that if you haven't already, just subscribe to the channel. It's it's a cool channel. You should subscribe. And if you like the videos that we make, please hit that like button. Also, if you have any questions or anything else you would like to share with us, leave a comment and check out our website. Link is gonna be in the description of the video. Additionally, another forward here before we continue is that to keep in mind, we do not provide financial advice here. All the content that we share is intended for educational purposes only. Always trade the price and not the prediction. I'm gonna hand off the word over to Ormas. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. And markets are doing extremely good, yeah, as we see here. So obviously it's been now 7 weeks in a row to the upside, and we are making new highs here, which is a good sign. So that's obviously a very positive way to end the year. We shall see if spiders are gonna reach above this top that we had in the beginning of 22, yeah. So that's the target at the moment. Although some indexes have been even above that already. For example, Dow Jones, yeah, has reached that top already and exceeded. So yeah, that's very positive sign. Obviously, Nasdaq is at resistance at the moment, so we'll see if Nasdaq is gonna break through as well. Yeah. Although one index that has not performed so well is Russell, yeah, Russell 2000, which is quite far off the tops here, which were made in November 21, and we are just barely on 50% retracement at the moment. So yeah, that's not a strong sign for small companies, but the overall market, or at least large indices, have been performing very, very well. Yeah. And if you look at the junk bond market, HYG, then yeah, that one has a similar pattern to Russell. Yeah, so nothing strong so far. So the risk tolerance is quite low, although it's been now to the upside, yeah, at least for these past 6-7 weeks, yeah. So we shall see if we're gonna get some more risk what should I say, tolerance to the market, yeah. Maybe. So maybe then the small cap companies will start rising as well. Obviously it depends where we end up at the moment. Broad market is at very, very important resistance, yeah. Okay. Now let's have a look at our turning points here. Let me just go back to the daily chart. Now with spiders, we did see important turning point on the 12th, which was Tuesday, and from here on the market did well, basically shoot up. Okay, and now the next turning point is coming on Monday, tomorrow, on the 18th, and one after that is on Friday, 22nd, just before Christmas now. Yeah, all right. So we shall see how it's gonna play out. Gold has reacted to those turning points as well, quite good, although not always on the exact day, but quite close. Yeah. Now the next one for gold is coming up on 29th, so we got 2 weeks until then. So we just have to wait what sort of direction it will take next week. Yeah. And what else we got here? Bitcoin has formed now this kind of triangle here, yeah, or wedge, basically. So the theory is that it might, well, obviously it has to has to break out either to the upside or downside, yeah. as it is quite symmetrical, so it's hard to say which way it's going to go. But if it does break to the upside, then it might have another leg to the upside as well. So I have drawn it already here. We might end up somewhere around 50,000 or even higher, yeah, with that next move. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what else we got here? Technology sector, obviously that's doing well as well. There's no changes at all. Let's have a look at the VIX as well. So VIX has been obviously on these very, very low levels, and obviously it doesn't tend to be there for too long. At some point we will see some volatility again, as we know from the past. So as we see, it barely gets to that point. So last we had that sort of lows in 2019, yeah, and then the COVID hit, yeah. So we had quite heavy volatility on the market, yeah. So but yeah, sometimes it stays there for longer, so we shall see. But at the moment, yeah, obviously, market doesn't have any fear at all, yeah. All right, let's take a look at our fundamentals as well. So last week was very important, or ending week now. Obviously, we did see central bank rate decisions coming out, and the most important one was on Wednesday when Fed announced that they will leave the interest rates unchanged, and they are expecting rate cuts next year. So that obviously gave markets very strong indication, and we have seen that inflation is obviously been stable as well, and kind of slowly declining now. Yeah. Same kind of thing happened with UK with the Bank of England rate decision. So they did remain on 5.25 percentage point, and European ECB decided to stop the rate hikes as well, and it stays on 4.5 yeah, now. So as we see, that sentiment is now quite similar on these major markets, and we shall see what the next year is going to bring. But from the history, we do know that when central banks start cutting rates, then markets tend to react negatively to that as well, because by then, obviously, something either has broken or economy needs a bit of a boost by then, yeah. So and that's something we need to look very closely, but we will have a look at the long trend as well, possibly next week or after Christmas, whenever we're gonna make the next video, yeah. So hopefully this year we will have another video coming out still, yeah. Okay. Now last week was expected by the seasonality to be negative, but obviously it doesn't work all the time, and it tended to be very strong to the upside, and technical indicators were all green as well. So we didn't see any reasons to short the market, and it went to the upside very strongly. No signs to the downside at all, yeah. So that did help us to make our mind up based on these now, yeah. 50-day moving average has been in that red zone, so above 70% area, and statistically it tends to be there roughly around 4, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but on average about 4 weeks, yeah. Now we are on the 3rd week now, so let's wait and see how long it's going to stay there, but there might be a turn coming at some point, yeah. Now same goes for 200-day moving average, which has had very nice swings, so from red to green and green to red again. So that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's a beautiful play, obviously, yeah. So that shows that market has very strong direction. Those are very good momentum moves to trade on as well, yeah. Okay. Now, new high, new low indicator did see a new top forming this week as well. So yeah, that was now breaking our divergence fears. We shall see how it's going to react from here on, but by the end of week it did decline quite heavily, and the new lows started rising a bit as well. So yeah, it's something to keep an eye on, obviously. Technically, as I said, it was very strong, and the resistance is at around 4,800 on S&P. And our stops have been raising day by day as well. So we are bringing them up close to the price action here as well. So if the market should turn to the downside, we wouldn't lose much on the profits here. All right. So that's that. And sector performance, well, obviously everything is almost in a green. Best performance last week, real estate, basic materials, and industrials. Yeah. And monthly performance, real estate is leading there as well. Okay. Fear and greed has stayed in a greed zone and at 67, 68 levels for weeks now. No movement there either. Yeah, so no greed so far. Extreme greed, I mean. So when we should get into those extreme areas, then it is quite obvious that the market will start turning, but at the moment it's not really a good indication yet. So yeah, let's see if it's gonna go even greener or greedier.
Yeah, let's see if Grinch comes out.
Yeah, green Grinch is coming out from that. Yeah. But yeah, okay. Seasonally, yeah, as we did say, we expected that market might decline, but not always accurate, yeah, as we do know. So and that zone that we had in play was quite a weak one, as out of 12 years, only 9 have been negative and 3 have been positive. Now, obviously, that statistic has turned even further, so it's not a very good zone to the downside anymore, yeah, from next year on, for example. Okay, so that's how statistics do work. So that's what we need to bear in mind. And as somebody has said, that statistics are like bikinis, you know, they are very visual and very good to look at, but what they're hiding is more important. Yeah? So we need to be careful with statistics.
Dear.
Yeah. All right. Now, astrological tendencies here are well, do have some aspects coming up before Christmas, so there might be some volatility. Obviously, we know that we will have some numbers, macro numbers coming out on Friday, the 22nd, just before Christmas. So something to be aware of, and we have a turning point there as well on 22nd for US markets. Yeah, so maybe that's an important day to keep in mind. Although aspects wise, we are in very strong rising markets. Yeah, so it is showing green even in January. So we shall see how it's going to play out. But at the moment, at least, these indications are quite strong to the upside. Yeah, and individual aspects, I think what we have seen now taking the lead has been Venus trine to Saturn. Yeah. And that is showing a tendency for rising markets even further. So that's, I think, the factor that's in play at the moment. And obviously, by the end of the year, we will have a Venus trine Neptune as well, which is very strong statistical mover, obviously, of the markets to the upside. Yeah, about 90% even probability. So something to bear in mind after Christmas as well. Yeah. Okay. Although Mercury retrograde tends to show us more volatility, and sometimes it tends to have very sharp moves during the period, but we do need to bear in mind that it turns direct early next year. So that aspect is in play throughout the Christmas. Yeah. All right. So we might have some volatility still coming up, but the tendency is still to the upside by other factors. Okay. Now, long-term cycles, obviously, we do keep them, well, several of them in mind when we do our predictions for a year ahead as well. And last year we ruled this one a bit out because it did get a bit sloppy here by the autumn time. It didn't act as accurately, and we thought other cycles might be in play, but it turned out to be quite accurate actually. Now when we look at it. So we did see those moves to be quite accurate, and the main turn was end of July. Then the market started declining, and the next turn to the upside, as we know now, was in the end of October. And since then, the markets have been rising 7 weeks now. Yeah. So we're gonna have a look at next year's prediction as well, possibly now next week or whenever we're gonna have that next recording. Yeah. All right. So let's see where it takes us. All right. Week ahead, key focus is on PC. Obviously, we will have some inflation numbers coming out, and housing market data is coming out as well, and consumer sentiment, which is quite important to bear in mind as well. Yeah. And some earnings are coming up as well. So Heiko Corporation is coming up on Monday, then ACN and FedEx on Tuesday, Micron Technologies and General Mills on Wednesday, and Nike, for example, and CCL on Thursday. So these are maybe important ones to keep an eye on. And yeah, as said, there are some jobless data coming up, GDP revision, and obviously home sales for November and consumer sentiment for December. Okay. So that's about it from macro numbers, I believe. And let me then go back to the chart, and let's have a look at some technical indicators as well. So as we did point out already, technically S&P is in a green. Yeah, no signs of decline just yet. If we look at Qs, same picture. So we had very strong support here, and then to the upside. Yeah. Gold has seen some red now in recent days, but it did turn up to the upside as well again. Yeah. So at the moment the tendency is to the upside still. Yeah. And Bitcoin is in this wedge pattern, but very strong market still. Yeah. So no weakness is showing up there at all. Okay. What else can we look at? Then let's have a look at some stocks as well that we have been keeping an eye on. 8x8, so EGHT has been now in play. It did hit the entry criteria here, and it's been very strong since then, although Friday did show some weakness there. So we haven't hit our target just yet. We just have to wait and see how it's going to play out, but at the moment it's all good. Vertex was one of them that it was in the area of very strong support, and it did break out to the upside, yeah, which we didn't quite expect, but that's what happened. Yes, so it was very strong play, but we did anticipate a move to the downside rather. Yeah, so if it would have been breaking through that support, then yeah, we were expecting it to go down, but yeah, it happened the other way. Okay, so we missed that one. Now ACIW has been very strong, so that divergence hasn't really played out. Okay, what else we had here? Oh yeah, OSCR held. That is still near that resistance level, so we do expect it to start declining. We're just waiting for a signal coming up here. Okay. And last week we did add a couple of more stocks. Those were momentum stocks, which we did expect to go to the upside. And GOSS is close or at the resistance at the moment. So if it breaks through that, then it might go even higher. HLMN did break out already, so that's going to the right direction, although there is a strong resistance coming up as well. Yeah. And GLPG did break to the upside as well. Yeah, so that's all going good. Now, YUM, we did expect that it might obviously go through that support level, and if it would, then it would go even further to the downside, but it bounced back. Yeah. And that's what we saw last Monday as well, that it was showing very good strength. So we didn't obviously act on that because the bias was a bit different. All right. So that's just an update on these as well. And yeah, general market is obviously very strong still. So at the moment, we don't have any reason to doubt that it might go even higher, although, as we say, always trade the price, not the prediction. So we need to see what the price action tells us. And if there's going to be signs of turn, then yeah, obviously we need to act accordingly. All right.
Exactly. All right. Thank you very much, Urmas. And thank you for watching and listening. As always, if you haven't already, get subscribed, hit the bell notification icon so you get notified when we upload next. Check out our website. Link is going to be in the description of the video. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And if you have any questions or any recommendations you'd like to make, leave those in the comment section down below. You can also get in touch with us through our website if you'd like. But that's it from me. I hope you all have a wonderful Christmas time, and we shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Yes, have a great Christmas, and we'll see then after that. Yeah. All right. All the best.